What is this guy doing back? We just did an episode with this mug. This exact mug. Aloha and welcome back to Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour. What's up with this? We did this episode maybe 2 weeks ago or something like that, and I have never received so much anger and vitriol. I got so many comments from people. People were furious that I used Coors Original beer. They're like, dude, Coors Original wasn't even on that side of the Rockies until 1987 or something. I was like, what are you talking about? There was a comment from a lady that was just like, you got it all wrong. And I was like, what are you talking about? I got the recipe specifically from Facebook, from the Kahiki Facebook page, where the Kahiki closed, but it continued on as a frozen food company. But the owner of the Kahiki ended up going on to be the owner of Kahiki Frozen Foods. I was like, I guess if they're posting a recipe to the Headhunter, this must be the one they did at the Kahiki. Simple logic, right? You're wrong, everybody. Everybody on the internet was like, you did it wrong. That's not the recipe. It's a wrong recipe. Yeah, I don't know. Dude, I just follow the directions, all right? I'm trying to follow the directions the best I can. So, what are we doing here? I'm not apologizing for doing the correct recipe that I had. I would never apologize for that, people. One person even said that I was making the Kahiki look bad, or like I was doing a disservice to the legacy of the Kahiki, all this kind of stuff. I reveled over the legacy of the Kahiki. I talked about the bird guy. I talked about the giant fireplace. Like, it was the most complimentary episode that I've done in a long time, to a place that I relished, to a place that I loved as well, even though I never went there. I just love it when somebody goes above and beyond with every aspect of their tiki establishment. Places like Trader Vic's, places like the Mai Kai, those kinds of things, and the Kahiki. So, I certainly had no intention of doing any disservice to the legacy of the Kahiki. And in fact, all this turmoil brings it back up in everybody's minds. So I'm glad that we did it. I am not apologizing for the recipe that I did. Although, from the get-go, I looked at the ingredients and I went, this looks horrible. Yeah. After 110 episodes of cocktails, eventually you can look at the recipe and go, okay, that'll be pretty good, or I don't know about that one. That recipe, I was like, no, that's gonna be horrible. That'll be horrible. So I wasn't excited to do it, but I did want to talk about the Kahiki. And a fan of the show sent me the exact mug that the Headhunter was served in. And even that dude was furious at me. And I was like, dude, I did the recipe. And he goes, you did it wrong. And I was like, no, I did the recipe. He goes, no, the Headhunter recipe is the one in the Beach Bum Berry app. And I was like, that one's for a place in New York. And he's like, doesn't matter. What? Okay. Anyway, during the episode, I talked about, actually, I got a lot of stuff wrong on that episode. I also talked about how there was a farewell party, and I think the Kahiki actually closed in 2000 or 2001. So I got that wrong also. I think I said 2010 in the video. I meant 2001. Your recipe isn't even close. That's crazy. And I was like, isn't even close to what? It's a recipe that the Kahiki posted on their Facebook page. So what, are you gonna blame me? Blame them. Blame Facebook. Blame Zuckerberg. Coors isn't a real lager. It's a watered down American mass market beer. Okay. Sorry. I don't know. Dude, I like Coors. Get off me. Also, dude, that recipe was ridiculous. All right. So if I'm not using the right lager, I don't care. So recently on Facebook, my buddy Tim Swanky Glazier writes me. He sends me a picture of him standing next to one of the big moai that flank the doors with the fire on their heads. And the moai is decayed. And there's no concrete on it anymore. It's just rebar. It's the saddest sight that I've ever seen. That's not true. So my buddy Tim writes me this note and he goes, so I'm going through my bins of stuff to get things to sell, and I came across this piece of paper. Probably 10 or more years ago while in Columbus, I was hanging out with a guy who owned the Kahiki and the bartender Skip. And Skip says, I know what you want. Recipes. Which I really didn't. Why didn't you want recipes, Tim? But he starts writing on this random piece of paper, and there it is, the Headhunter. And so tonight, we redeem the Kahiki with the actual Headhunter recipe. And for this cocktail, we will be using guava juice, orange juice, pineapple juice, gold rum, and white rum. Okay, so you can see by that note that it just says gold rum and white rum. And it's like, okay, so that leaves us up to a little bit of interpretation. We get the idea. It's probably something like Bacardi 8, Don Q. The ingredients seem much more palatable. I'm actually excited to try this one. So let's get to it. Okay, we're gonna start with half an ounce of guava juice, which is still kind of a weird ingredient for a tiki cocktail. We don't see guava juice pop up all that much in these kind of drinks. And then orange juice. And if you use my technique, then you squeeze from the top and kind of roll down. It seems to get the most of the juice out of it. 1.5 ounces of orange juice. We do have to remember that this recipe is from the early 2000s. Who knows if this is as precise as it would have been back in the 1950s or 60s, but this does look better than the recipe that we did the other day. Okay, and 1 ounce of pineapple juice. Dude, I don't have any pineapple juice, so I'm gonna try something here. We're gonna try and juice some pineapple sticks here. Wow, not a whole lot of juice comes out of these things. Okay, that's about half an ounce. 1 ounce of pineapple juice. 1 ounce of pineapple juice. Dude, that was gray. Why was that gray? It's this thing. Like all the coatings off of it, and I think it's just like squeezing metal into my drinks. Gross. So look at that. That's what's going into my drink. Okay, we're gonna have to do this over. All right, 1 ounce of gold rum. And 1 ounce of white rum. So there's the cocktail. Okay, let's throw some ice into the mixing tin and mix for about 6 seconds. And pour into a vintage Kahiki Headhunter mug. Smells good. Add some ice to Phil. Who's Phil? Grab some mint, give it a little smack. Smack that like button. I'm gonna get rid of the leaves on the bottom here. Put that in the back. And then the way that they did it at the Kahiki was another one of those things where I was like, dude, I didn't do it right because I didn't yet possess a Kahiki cocktail pick. Look at that thing. Yeah, it's like a little moai on the back. It says Kahiki, pretty rad. And the way that they garnished this cocktail was with a maraschino cherry. And I use the jumbo cherries. I think they're made for pies or something, but they just seem more substantial than the dinky maraschino cherries you get these days. And a pineapple cube. We will put that right in front there with the moai facing out. And so from the world famous Kahiki in Columbus, Ohio, this is the Headhunter. It's almost like this moai has like a bit of a Carmen Miranda thing going on with like his fruit headdress. Of course, the mint up there smells incredible. Oh man, let's give it a try. And like when you put the straw in there, you get your nose right in the mint. That is an interesting cocktail. That is confused. I think that is confused by the guava juice. The guava juice is such an unexpected ingredient in a tiki cocktail that I think initially it throws me a little bit sideways. It's kind of a tart drink. I feel like maybe it could use a little bit of simple syrup. I don't know. It's tart but bland. It just doesn't do anything for me at all. It's such a flat flavor profile. I don't know. It's like the pineapple and the guava just kind of meld together to create nothing. The rums are almost not even there. Underpronounced. We tried to do it properly. We tried to do a recipe that was found in a bar in Columbus, Ohio from an original bartender. And this is just not that good. It's not, and I'm not trying to be a jerk or elitist or anything. It's not horrible. If somebody served this to you at your table at the Kahiki, right in front of that giant fireplace, you'd probably go, yeah, it's fine. It's not an explosion of flavor. There's nothing about it that is memorable. If I was describing this to somebody, I would go, kind of bland. Kind of bland. And like guava juice in a tiki drink is such a bizarre ingredient. And there's a reason for that. It just doesn't do a whole lot, I don't think. Well, all I can say is that we tried. And if you would like to support the Breezeway Cocktail Hour, you can join our Patreon. And for $10 a month, I will send you this enamel pin and maybe another little like special goodie around Halloween time. So if you aren't already signed up for that, maybe now's a good time because something's coming. And if you are a member of the Breezeway Cocktail Hour Patreon at the $10 tier, you will also get that special Halloween treat. Yeah, super excited about it. Oh, and be sure to come and see me September 10th in Indianapolis at the Inferno Room for Makahiki. Yeah, very excited about that. We are going to be doing a cocktail from a vintage cocktail book from 1971. So yeah, getting into kind of dicey territory. It was kind of the de-evolution of tiki cocktails, but I looked at the recipe. It'll be a fun one. Folks, if you enjoyed this, please be sure to like, comment, hit the subscribe button if you aren't already. Spread the word, man. Tell people that this exists, and I will see you the next cocktail episode. Aloha. I got the recipe specifically from Facebook where the Kahiki Foods, right? What the f***'s up with that? Get off me. According to the internet, I got it super wrong. And I was like, I felt, mother f*** off, helicopter. Okay. I reveled? It's hot in the breezeway. Somebody liked Sparky was in the episode a bunch. That's good. I mean, some people said amazing video. Thank you so much. Dude, it is so hot in the breezeway right now. So a bartender scribbled real quick So a bartender scribbled real quickly on the back of a receipt or a check, whatever. Oh my word. So already, oh God, my hands are all sticky. But this does look better than the recipe, but this does look but it was only because I had not yet had. I need a straw. Well, we tried. And folks, if you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. No, not yet. It doesn't suck. It's just not anything. No.